Hello, Year 5. Today it's the 20th of January and we are going to take writing a fable. Let's read typical features of traditional tales and legends. First of all, the characters, talking animals or fantasy creatures, wizards, queens, princesses, kings and princes, rich and poor, good and evil, wise and foolish. So most of the time I have two things, the evil and the good, the bad and the good, right? I have the rich and the poor, the wise and the foolish. Actions like courage, determination, kindness, helpfulness, patience. These are things made by the characters that I'm going to learn from, because we said before, a fable is a story that you learn from it, a lesson or a moral, right? Settings. A long journey happened long ago, dangerous places, palaces, mountains, lakes. Okay. Places that you can mention. Themes, like for example, a gift or an object with special and unusual powers, a quest to find a person or an object, a reward or a penalty. Penalty. What is the penalty? It's punishment. Okay. Narrative structure. It's like repetition, sequential organization, patterns in the plot, crisis and solution. Happy ever after endings. Okay. I can use repetition as we took in the poetry. And I can put sequence, right? First, second, next, after that. Okay. And I can use patterns. Words that have the same rhyme, the same sound, moving by patterns. Okay. Here, this person in the picture is telling me that Aesop is believed to be a storyteller from ancient Greece, but we don't know whether he really existed or not. Okay, so again, we have to mention characters, and these characters, of course, they are fantastical creatures, and they are giving us a lesson or a moral to learn. Okay, and the setting, time and place, the body, what are these creatures, description for them, and I'm going to mention after this the problem and how was it solved and what did I learn from it. Okay, writing a traditional tale. Our tale is called Grandmother Spider, a Cherokee tale. Okay, as you see in the picture, I have a spider on a pot and I have another creature which is called possum. Okay, and he is giving me a sample to try to write like it. In the beginning, there was only blackness and nobody could see anything. People said, what this world needs is light. Between quotation marks, this was a quotation said by people, okay? So here he's telling you, the story begins with a traditional opener, like the scene is set. I can see that it is darkness and nobody can see anything, right? And the problem also was introduced, like what the world needs is light, so they are living in darkness. This was the problem. Number 2, Fox said, some people on the other side of the world have plenty of light, but they were too greedy to share it. They don't want anything. They are selfish. This is what the fox said. Okay, so here I have the fox as a character. I can see in the picture also 2 characters. Let's see. Possum said he would steal a little of it. I have a bushy tail. It's thick. Okay, and he said I can hide the light inside all that fur. Okay, so here characters are introduced. I have fox talking to a possum, right? They are having a dialogue. So here, dialogue makes it interesting and more realistic and moves the plot along when we tell the story. Number 3, Possum set out for the other side of the world. There, he found the sun hanging in a tree and lighting everything up. So here, the action moves forward and there is a happening from an imaginary world. He moves and tried to do something, and then he found something in something, right? After this, number 4, Possum sneaked over to the sun, picked out a tiny piece of light and stuffed it into his tail. Okay, so he moved as if he was a thief and he picked out a tiny piece of light and put it into his tail. But the light was hot and burned all the fur off. Ever since, Possum's tail has been bald. Okay, so all his hair was burned. Okay, his hair in the tail, and he became without hair. So here the problem gets more complicated, and there is a sequence to the possum's behavior. Notice the strong verbs, sneaked and stuffed. Okay, so here the writer used strong and powerful verbs. We said before, using a powerful verb, instead of go, I can use, or instead of run, I can use rush. Okay, and here he used sneaked, acting as if it was a thief and stuffed it. Okay, put it, organized it. Okay, inside his tail. Number 5, I will try, said Buzzard. I will put it on my head. He flew off and diving straight into the sun. Okay, so here it's another character, right? Which is the buzzard. It's like the eagle or the falcon. Okay, seized the light with his claws and put it on his head. Also, it burned his head feathers off, and ever since that time, Buzzard's head has remained bald again. Okay, so there is a repetition of the problem. Two creatures have their fur or feathers burnt and they became bald. Okay, number 6. Grandmother Spider said, "Let me try." First, she made a clay pot. Next, she spun a web reaching the other side of the world. She was so small that nobody noticed her coming. So here, the spider did something. Maybe this thing can solve the problem. Let's see. We are moving towards a resolution to the problem. Connectors move the story along. Connectors like next, like after that, like first. Okay. Number 7. Quickly, which is an adverb, and I started with it. Grandmother Spider snatched up the sun, put it in the pot, scrambled back home along her web. Now her side of the world had light and everyone rejoiced. So here you have the word snatched, means she grabbed. Okay, and you have also the word scrambled, which is, who can tell me? Yes, excellent. Scrambled back home, she climbed and rushed quickly on this or on her web quickly to reach home, right? And after that, everyone rejoiced, means cheered and was delighted and happy. Great. So here, using lots of verbs close together gives the sense of speed and action. Quickly, snatched, scrambled. Okay. Grandmother Spider brought not only the sun to the Cherokee, but fire as well. And she taught the Cherokee people the art of pottery making. So here the problem is resolved and with an extra twist. What is the meaning of the word twist? It's like a trick. Okay, the spider tricks the sun. Okay, guided writing. Think about these questions. What is the main idea of your story? Where does it take place and what is the setting, time and place? Who are the main characters? What do they look like? And how do they react to each other? The plot, what is going to happen? Think of a problem or an obstacle that needs to be resolved or overcome. How will this happen? What is the message of your story? What did you learn? What will be the moral that you wanted the reader to learn? Language techniques, use imagery, metaphors, alliteration, personification, simile, all these features, okay, and all these figures of speech can help you make your story more exciting. So here, in this yellow box, my story is done. Let me go. Let some come. It's a saying from Africa. Here, you're going to write your plan. You're going to write your title. And this is the mountain, writing the introductory paragraph, the build-up or the body, the characters in their names, descriptions. As you see here, we had many characters in this fable. After this, you have a problem, have a solution, and the conclusion or the end. We have finished for today. See you tomorrow. Please do your homework and prepare your writing because we are going to discuss it tomorrow together. Bye.